Are you ready? This session begins now. Dive into a lifetime of leadership with USANA's very own personal growth guru. Here is Chairman of the Board and CEO, Kevin Guest.
As leaders, gaining knowledge is a lifetime activity, and it's one of the best investments you can make in yourself. I learned that from one of my longtime friends and mentors, Denis Waitley, who happens to be the inspiration for this session. And while the next 20 minutes may not add up to a lifetime of knowledge, it is still plenty of time for all of us to expand our minds a bit. To help me do that, I've invited a special group of distributors to join me in sharing Denis's vision of leadership and success. Not only do they embody what it means to live USANA, they are themselves mentors throughout Asia Pacific, and they have questions I'm going to answer. So let's meet them. Serving as today's forum members, it's my honor to welcome this year's recipients of the Denis Waitley Leadership Award for Business Excellence.
From Australia, Min Lee and Heidi Shou. From Hong Kong, Ada Chai and Jeff Ng. From Indonesia, Dr. Hendra and Dr. Myra Purwalaksana. From Korea, Yang Mikyung. From Malaysia, Anthony Ang and Tina Lee. From New Zealand, Peter, Michael, and Sophia Yek. From the Philippines, Rajnish Sogi and Ryan Tan. From Singapore, Lawrence and Precious Sia. From Thailand, Tanyalug Korkerdsup and Choon Go. From Taiwan, Han Te Ming and Wen Yi.
And here they are now, joining us from all over the Asia Pacific region. Hello, everyone. Congratulations to you all, and thank you for being here. Let's jump right into it. Let's go to question number one.
Hi, Kevin. Thanks for having us here.
Our question is about our values. How do we use them to connect with customers and their interests?
I think the word that comes to mind is lifestyle. What is your lifestyle? And when people see your lifestyle, do they understand who you are? Your values will show very brightly. And so example is also part of the lifestyle equation. And then as you think about that, are you someone that you'd like to be attracted to? Are you someone that you'd like as your leader? And that lifestyle will transition itself to those who will be attracted to you because of how you live your values. Values are very, very important, and it will connect everything together to show that you are a person who lives with authenticity and is real about how you live your life. So let's go to the next question.
Hi, Kevin. 저도 질문이 있는데요. 사실 업계의 다른 회사들은 호황된 약속이나 사업 방식으로 고객을 유혹하기도 하는데 유산화의 가치가 사람들에게 긍정적인 영향을 주는 이유에 대해서 말씀해 주실 수 있으실까요?
I would say the word that comes to mind is authenticity. Be authentic. You want to always tell people how it really is, and don't make promises you can't keep. And so one of the things that really separates USANA from many other companies in our industry is that we want you to talk about how it really is going to happen for them. And you know, in many cases, it's going to be hard. And so let them know, set the proper expectations. If you set good expectations, then people will not be disappointed. So I would say authenticity for sure as you're talking to someone who's thinking about joining your group. Okay, let's move on to the next question.
Hi, Kevin.
Thank you for this opportunity. Our question is also about values. How do they strengthen our business now and in the future?
I think strength comes from the word consistency. Are we constantly doing things that will help improve, help build, and help grow. And constantly doing those things that will move us forward. Consistency is so important. If you look at athletes who are world class, one of the things that they do day in and day out is do things consistently and do them over and over and over. Consistency helps build competency and helps you be better at what you're doing. So I would say be consistent in all that you do and try and model that every single day. Okay, let's go to question number 4.
Hello, Kevin。輪到我講啦。我哋想知道對於你嚟講，邊一個價值係最重要嘅？
For me, I think the most important value for me, especially out of USANA's core values, is integrity. I think integrity is at the heart of everything we do. And if you don't have integrity, none of the other values really matter because you won't be true to those values. See, integrity is all about doing the right thing when no one's watching. One of the things that I always try and do for myself is I think, okay, as I'm saying this or making this decision, what would happen if I said it on stage at convention? How would our associates, our distributors respond? And using that measurement helps me stay in the line of integrity, meaning doing the right thing when no one else is looking. And so integrity is at the heart of core values. Let's go to question number 5.
Hi, Kevin. 我想请教你，就是以你丰富的生命经验，你如何展现坚毅、不屈不挠的精神，来成就USANA的事业，并且创造更精彩的生命故事哦。谢谢。
These are all such good questions. Another great question. Resilience is never been more important than it is today. Coming out of COVID, and many of you are at different stages of COVID, you've had to be resilient and be strong. And that resilience is a quality that people are seeking right now, which helps you be more relevant in today's world. Someone who really embodies the word resilience, in my opinion, is Dr. Wentz. He battled the medical industry, the scientific community, when he was talking about free radicals, when he was talking about cellular nutrition. And now look, today he's been proven right, and it's because he's been resilient, which has made him more and more relevant as the years go on. Thank you for those great questions. Let's go to question number 6.
Hi, Kevin. 我的问题和前面相关。当我们面临挑战的时候，我们如何领导团队，以及让团队继续发展？
I think it all starts with belief. And as you think about growing your teams, especially through tough times, belief all begins with a strong foundation. You've heard the story about the wise man who built his house on the rock, and when the winds and the storm came, the house stood still. But the foolish man built his house on sand, and what happened? His house washed away. Build upon a rock, and that rock is what I believe composed in 4 very core beliefs. First belief is belief in the industry. The industry that we're involved with is a great industry. We're helping millions of people all over the world. And so be proud of the industry that we're involved in, direct sales, being an entrepreneur, working for yourself, all the things that go into that. Second thing is have belief in the company. USANA is a publicly traded company. You can check us out on the internet. You can look at our financials. We're required by law to do certain things. So it shouldn't be hard to find that belief in the company. Number 3, the third belief that you should have is belief in the products. We should be a product of the product. The most important thing we do is share these great products with others, especially ourselves and our family. We should have an experience. We should really believe in the products. And then 4th, which is most important, belief in yourself. Denis Waitley told me once that the most important conversations we have are with ourselves. And so please stay away from negative self-talk. Many times I've spoken to myself worse than I've ever spoken to another individual. And why do we do that? Be positive as we talk to ourselves. So those 4 beliefs are critical, I believe, in growing our teams. Thank you so much. Great question. Let's go to question number 7.
Hi, Kevin. We also have a question. You've been doing great as USANA CEO. Do you mind sharing a couple of tips on how we can improve our ability to lead?
Well, first and foremost, education comes to mind. For me, I am continually feeding my mind with new thoughts and new ideas. I'm constantly reading books. I'm listening to podcasts. I'm watching material that will help my mind grow and develop. So I'm constantly feeding myself with education. The other thing that many of you don't know is I have 2 personal coaches who coach me and help me to grow as an individual. And so I would advise you, as you want to grow and you want a tip or a few tips, the first thing for me that is most important is education and feeding and growing my mind. But as we talk about leadership, and another tip of leadership is, and I said this just before, but not asking others to do something you're not willing to do yourself. You have to have integrity in everything that you're asking others to do. And if you do, they will appreciate that. And also, admit when you're wrong. We all make mistakes, and we are wrong often. At least I know I am. And it takes a big person to be able to admit when they've done something wrong. And as you do that, you'll gain the respect of those who you're trying to lead. And so I would advise you to really be honest and be quick to admit that you're wrong. Then the last point, the tip that I'll give you is a tip that was in my book, which is called the Dorothy Principle. And the Dorothy Principle is all about relationships. I don't know if you remember the story, but a professor walked into the classroom and told the class that we're going to have a quiz today. And on the quiz, the question was asked, what is the name of the lady who cleans our room? Well, the students were shocked. None of them knew her name. And then the professor went on to teach them a very valuable lesson. Her name is Dorothy, and she's very important to all of us, and you should know her name. I hope that all of you will understand that there really is nothing more important than relationships. As we think about relationships, for me personally, my number 1 relationship is up above, the person that I worship and believe in. Number 2 relationship that is most important to me is my family. And then number 3 is my friends and all of the wonderful USANA family outside of that. But in that order, and I make sure and prioritize those things, that my beliefs really take priority and I stay congruent with those beliefs. Second, that my family receives my time and attention. And third, others, I have relationships with those others. So remember the Dorothy Principle. Nothing is more important than relationships. Okay, let's go to question 8.
Kevin 非常高兴能见到你，可以请你跟我们分享一下，最近公司有打算开发任何新国家的市场吗？谢谢。
So the short answer is yes. USANA will open new markets in the future. That's part of our vision, right? Being the healthiest family on earth. We are only in 14 or 24 markets right now. And so, yes, expanding around the world is important to us. And we are actively working on a new market. Now, COVID has slowed us down. We'd hope to be farther along in the process. But yes, we will open new markets. And I'm excited for the next market we're going to open that many of you will be happy about also. But unfortunately, I can't tell you what that market is because we're a public company and I can't let public information out ahead of time. But I will tell you that we are looking and we are working on one market right now and several other markets that we want to open. So we will continue to expand around the world as we create the healthiest family on earth. Okay, let's go to question number 9.
Hi, Kevin. We are next. As the CEO of the public listed company, we know you are busy, but how do you stay at your daily best?
Well, the word that comes to mind, and I don't always stay my daily best, by the way, but I certainly try, is discipline. For me, the first thing I do when I get out of bed in the morning is I get on my knees and I pray. That's how I start my day. Then I have a very certain schedule, a routine that I do where I'm very disciplined in the things that I do daily to help keep me motivated, help keep me positive, and engaged in everything I need to do for the day. And so as you're thinking about in your own lives, it's very easy when we get busy, when we start working hard on things, to let some things go. I like to say that it's impossible to draw water from an empty well. What that means is we as leaders are always having people take from us, but what are we doing to put back in? Because if we don't have water in our well, we have nothing to give to others. It's like on the airplane when they say, put your mask on first, then put someone else's mask on. That's called self-care. And part of that discipline that I'm learning is self-care, taking care of myself before I can take care of others. So we have time for one last question. Question number 10.
Finally, it's our turn now. Hi, Kevin.
Hi.
Hello.
You have been with USANA almost from the very beginning and now serve as a chairman and CEO. What dreams do you wish to fulfill before and after you retire?
Well, this is an extension to self-care. One of the things that I struggle with personally, and I struggle with to this day, is being present. I'm always worried about what might happen in the future or what mistakes I made in the past. And for me, it's a struggle to be present and in the moment. And so for me, I'm hoping to become more and more present so I can enjoy the moments that I have and that I'm in. And so I would advise all of you to think about, are you present? Are you in the moment, or are you thinking about the future or the past, both of which we have a hard time changing? But then secondly, as I think about moving forward and dreams, I would like to be involved more in service and giving of my time, giving of my energy and my talents to things where it's needed. So service will be very important to me in the coming years. So I know this session could go on, but that's all the time we have. Thank you again, our most recent recipients of the Denis Waitley Leadership Award for Business Excellence for Asia Pacific. Congratulations on your spectacular efforts. We appreciate everything you do as USANA mentors and leaders. And thank you for all your questions. They were good questions, by the way. I encourage all of you to continue sharing Denis's vision of leadership and success as you build the healthiest family on earth. And don't forget to celebrate our 30th anniversary with us in Salt Lake City this August. Now, you better be here. I'll be looking for you. I look forward to seeing you at USANA's Global Convention. Thank you so much.
This concludes your USANA Live All Access session. Thanks for watching, and stay right here for the next general session.